So again, we have some more issues. We have the SEC and the FATF, Financial Action for the financial guys, Financial Action Task Force. That's a mouthful. Try and say that 4 times. It's not really been a great day. We know we have a lot of issues with FTX and with uncertainty around the FTT token, but this is what we're currently, this is what we're currently waking up to, guys. This is what we have pre-market in the US. Let's jump in. I'm going to make this very quick for everybody involved. So lots of pain. There's no denying that. Obviously, we can come and have a look. I will do a separate video on the specific FTT token, but everything is down by 10%, 8%. I mean, Chainlink is up. Polygon is also up over the week, but we'll mention that later. It's just a lot of bad news for the moment. 22% down on the day, as I said. And part of this is because the SEC have scored a victory over LBRY. And we need to look at what the ramifications are for the likes of Ripple during this time. So they say it was a lack of fair notice in regard to the issuance and sale of LBRY credits, violating securities laws. And essentially, it's not a defense that, hey, we didn't give us enough time. The judge's comments dealt a blow to Ripple supporters who are well aware that Ripple's defense team is also arguing a lack of fair notice in rebutting the SEC. Now, one thing that Jeremy Hogan, if you're an XRP supporter, you will know who he is. He is a partner at legal firm Hogan and Hogan. He said that LBRY's defense on LBRY credits being a utility token was dismissed due to the lack of utility at the time of sales, which could be argued, but ultimately, should we be worried about XRP? Well, I think XRP have proven that they had an awful lot of, one, extremely big plans, but also, two, there was a level of actually being able to use the token for more than just speculative purposes. So that's what we're kind of looking at. And I just want to bring you on to what we're looking at, the overall traditional markets. NASDAQ up by almost 1%, same with the S&P 500. And it's generally quite a, it's a positive mood. There's not really too much that we need to be worrying about when we're looking at the traditional market. So this is very much a crypto kind of bubble or contained crypto run, should we say. But this is what we are seeing the likes of Bloomberg actually saying. So crypto prices fall most in 2 weeks amid FTT and macro risks. This is pretty worried, pretty worried. So, traders cite concerns around Alameda after Binance's FTT sale. And obviously, we then get Bitcoin and ETH trading at their lowest in 2 weeks. So again, this is going to be, this is just a chart. See, as you see, a bad day for FTX's FTT token has dropped precipitously. That's a very fancy word. I wasn't expecting that. But we'll see again, this is just a little bit more FUD that we're seeing, and unfortunately, we are going to see a lot of FUD from the likes of Bloomberg, who are traditional finance, and they're very much into that. And so, especially then just mentioning about Ether being down by 5.6%, there's a lot to pick on within the crypto space. Also mentioning, and also Solana. So okay, the guys, that bad news. I know. Stop bringing it up, right? Bitcoin dropping by 6.5, 6.4 almost. Just quickly on the traditional markets, midterms coming up very, very soon. Trump potentially going for a third run at the White House, as you can see here. So people are expecting him because he said, "I've got a big announcement coming on the." I'm sorry, I shouldn't have even tried. I'm sorry. Again, obviously, one of the top 5 stories is about the FTT situation. I'll do a separate video on this later. Markets relatively quiet. NASDAQ up by 0.3%. And then looking at what's coming next. So an eventful calendar beyond the midterms elections and a sale of 40 billion of 3-year treasuries notes at 1 p.m. Earnings include Disney, Carlyle, DuPont, Occidental, which I believe is the company, they're a carbon capture company, which Warren Buffett recently took a 14% stake in, I believe, possibly higher. The main news that we're looking at, guys, we're looking at Thursday. This is going to be on the 10th. We have huge inflation numbers coming out from the US, and then we have GDP numbers from the UK and a Michigan sentiment coming up at the end of the week. Then moving on, got PPI later on next week and big numbers from the Eurozone. So over the weekend, probably a bit of volatility in the crypto prices. I guess a little bit of a bounce up, unless it's just bloody Armageddon. But everyone's going to be worrying about the euro and whether it's actually going to be in a good position. Same with the German sentiment as well. So I'm expecting this to drive money into the DXY and away from the euro, and so therefore probably having Bitcoin go down because DXY goes up, Bitcoin goes down. But anyway, so this is a massive bit of news that's coming up on Thursday. We need to be aware of this. And again, this is another reason why I kind of wanted to bring up this and the mainstream kind of view on crypto at the moment is that countries ignoring AML risks due to placement, they're basically going to be put on the on the FATF, the Financial Action Task Force, as you see here. And so this is essentially, like if you're on a bad list here, it's not as easy for you to do business internationally. You got to borrow money as a country. And so this is going to be another one of those like, okay, we either need to get crypto regulation in quick or we need to step away from crypto, which again is another bad thing. And adding on to this, we have the Russian central bank examining crypto's place in the financial system. So, basically saying there will be a place for crypto, whether it's just trading assets with the likes of Iran or something like this, maybe buying and selling oil or weapons, or just doing general trade of everyday stuff. But they have mentioned it strongly supports the further development of digital technologies, provided they didn't create uncontrollable financial or cybersecurity risks for consumers, which basically means, hey, crypto is going to get involved in Russia. And everybody, as we all know, is mad under sanctions. And if you're going to get put on the FATF grey list, you don't want to be doing this. So is this going to be another bit of FUD that we're going to see in the market for the likes of crypto in general? Just moving on quickly, Bitcoin balances on FTX exchange goes negative. I believe we saw, yes, here we go. It's now at negative 200 Bitcoin after over 20K left the exchange in the past 24 hours. Again, I'll do a full video. Retail begins accumulating while Bitcoin whales continue to sell. Do they know something we don't? Let me know down in the comments. Are we just being crazy here? Bitcoin accumulation trends, just having a look at this, which we can't blow up, which is mental. It's steadily going down. Yes, a little bit of pump, but obviously it's quite red today because people, everyone's just been selling. So there's one thing that we have noticed here, and you might look at this and be like, what the heck is this? It's like a spectrometry of like, of light or whatever. But while Bitcoin whales may still be distributing coins through consistent selling, there are signs of a reversal in recent weeks. I think that will probably change today. But in whale cohorts, the whale cohorts have moved from dark red into a light orange region. Dark red, and this is the whales, because the whales have over 10,000 Bitcoin, and obviously you can see, these people have like less than 1 to 10, etc. So generally, there was a lot of selling from like the medium, not the whales, more like the sharks, and then the whales begun to sell hard, which obviously, as you can see, made the market drop quite heavily. And then there's recently been a lot of buying from pretty much everyone apart from the whales. The whales are now changing into perhaps a more neutral position. But one coin that's been doing really well, guys, has been Polygon. It's outperformed Bitcoin and other large cap stocks. Anyway, cryptos. But on November 2nd, investment bank JP Morgan announced it had executed its first live trade on the Polygon chain as part of its pilot program for the Monetary Authority of Singapore's Project Guardian. So, yeah, basically, Singapore are doing Project Guardian, and JP Morgan are behind it and actually helping. They're going to use Polygon. Also, another thing is that Polygon has actually been really, really like, I think it's a bit of a sleeper because it's been quite central in the likes of who was it? It was EY. EY have used or begun to use Polygon to help track, I believe it's logistics around the world. Obviously, EY are an accounting firm. They do some consultancy, etc. And so they work with the biggest companies in the world. So they have even begun to introduce Polygon. So Polygon is getting a couple more stripes on its shoulders, you know, a couple more patches, a couple more badges. It's been through the war, it's come back, it's highly decorated, and now it's seeing some real good use cases. And I think this is going to be really beneficial for Polygon in the future. Anyway, I'm just going to wrap up on my coins here with Stepan. Obviously, there was a massive pump because of the Binance listing. This is very, very good. I think there would have been a lot of a fight, and this is why we're seeing a slowdown, because a lot of people who, you know, might have bought in, they want to take their profits. Fantastic. You know, that's a, what, that's just a 10, that's a 20% gain here. So from 0.5 to 0.6, although it didn't quite go to 0.6, that's a 10% gain. So this will probably look at like an 8% gain or so, you know, which is actually not too bad. You know, it's a decent profit. So there's going to be a lot of profits taking. But overall, I think, you know, the general sentiment is pretty good. You know, a lot of people very, very bullish, apart from this guy, absolute scam. You know, you could judge whether you want. I think it will become more and more popular as an app. I've heard some stuff about the team who are behind it, and it seems to be going in the right direction. You know, I think this is one of those elements where earning crypto and making it really, really easy, i.e., just walk in and having a, you know, an app on your phone, is actually a good way of doing it. And I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. What happened last week? Last week we saw, that's the most unattractive thing ever. Last week we saw 13.2 million dollars come out of Bitcoin. We got 2.7 into Ethereum, and then there was less shorting on Bitcoin. And so, yeah, I think probably less covering their bets, but then also just selling Bitcoin because if they don't have Bitcoin, they don't need to hedge. So pretty much a really, really disastrous week last week. So this shows the institutions are not really interested at the moment at these levels. Potentially they're waiting for a big drop, and that could be more of the pain to come, you know, especially when we consider this. If XRP lose this against the SEC, it's going to be pretty crazy. I think really, really bad for the overall crypto market. And again, we have the issue with FTX coming into effect as well. So this is going to have another bad week for crypto when we have a look at this next week, is my opinion. Unless we end up with some pretty crazy core inflation rates. You know, inflation is looking to come down. If we hit this, I think it will be relatively positive. The market's already baked it in. But I think if we do hit target, it's going to be like, actually, now we are seeing a bit of a reversal. So the mood will be good, and we might be looking for a bit of a Santa Claus rally, as it's called, around Christmas. This is typically what we see. But anyway, I wanted to keep it quick, guys. That's everything from me. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm just going to quickly jump on here. Hi, what exchange would you guys do you guys use? I was using FTX, but not at the moment. Very smart choice. What I would recommend is in the links down below, either join up with Bybit or Femex. Have a look and see which of those work best for you. We have an account with both, and so we use one for a slightly larger account and one for a slightly smaller. But I would say use those links down below. KuCoin, never had a problem. Very, very good point. KuCoin, I haven't actually used those myself. Bybit have just been great to me no matter where I've been in the world. KuCoin also has these 3x coins trading only, money and larger. I mean, you can leverage your trades on the likes of Binance, for example. Trading on Bybit is also really, really good to go. Yeah, exactly. Hit that link down below, guys. I just wanted to say, smash the like button. Thank you very much, Crypto Invest. Do smash the like button. It's great for us, and obviously it's free for you. So, you know, I feel like, am I worth a click? You let me know. I'll find out. I know how many people have seen this, and I'll know how many people have clicked the like button. Anyway, guys, don't worry. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. And actually, no, I'll see you in my next video I do about FTX and Binance and what's going on. Drop a comment here if you have any particular questions about that video, and I can add them in. Take care, guys. See you later.